It's another fine day. It's another beautiful day. And today, what we'll do here, um, another conversation, another fine conversation, another beautiful conversation, to build our community. Another conversation that can, take us from where we are to where we want to be. It's just another day for us to come together as a group of people, as a community, and do the things that we are supposed to do, to get us to where we want to be, to where we wish we can be. And it's possible. It's possible when we start having conversations. It's possible when we start coming together as a community. It's possible when we start looking at each other and worry about what we can do as a group to help us grow rather than what we can do as individuals to help us grow. Yeah, it is true. Every collective effort starts from an individual effort, but if we think collectively and act individually, it only gets better. That is the reason why we are here today. That's the reason why we're going to get this conversation for here today. Talking to this wonderful gentleman, we're talking to this wonderful group of people, talking to this wonderful group of people who have been doing wonderful for our community. I think it's going to be a beautiful session. If you're watching already, let us know where you're watching from. Comment. Comment. I think I'm excited. I think I'm excited because I look at what these people have done and I'm like, whoa, this is huge. This is big. This is wonderful. That is why you should be excited too to be part of this conversation. That is the reason why you should be excited to join the conversation. Yeah, Toridey, it's just another conversation, and like I said earlier, now one of those conversations that we would hold on because we want build our community. Go ahead and share the video if you're watching already. Go ahead and share the video if you're watching already. Go ahead and share the video if you're watching already. Let us jumpstart this conversation, man. I think it's going to be a very, very beautiful one. Um, yeah, right now we didn't have that part for share. So let me share also. We are live with Mission Ball 2023. Oh God, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love what our community is transforming to. You see everyone doing something for our community. You see everyone doing something to better the community. You see everyone doing something to get us to where we are supposed to be. You see everyone doing their own little to just make sure we all are thinking towards the right direction, and it's so beautiful. um it's so beautiful. I will never see that in a very, very long time. We've not seen that in a very, very long time. And like I said earlier, that is just what we're supposed to be doing as a community to grow. um we want to talk about these things. We want to come together. We want to talk about these things. We want to have conversations. Sometimes the conversations can get out of hand. We might fight. We might argue. We might fight. We might. But guess what? At the end of the day, the only reason why we fight now because we disagree on the different ways on which, as a community, we can get better. So how about when we fight, when we argue, whatever we are doing, we only think say, hey, that other person he want the best for my community, this other person he want the best for my community. So even when me and them not dey agree on certain things, at least I know say whatever it dey do try for do now for build a community. So even when we don't agree, I get for continue support them. Like I said, today we are talking to this group of people, um uh wey dey do wonderful thing for our community already. They do beautiful. Go ahead and share the video, guys, for the few that are watching. We need to have everyone on board. We need to have as many as possible people on board because this is about community building. This is about raising funds to go help people who deserve the best. You understand? So when we're having conversations like this, for me, it's serious. And the only way you can get to show me, okay, you understand how serious this or how important is to not only share the video, but make sure you bring one or two persons. Now, the reason why we decide to have this conversation before the actual event is because we want to create a place where people can start asking questions even before the event. You understand? We wanted to do this live because we want a situation where people can ask their questions and get answers, and then show up on the day of the event and just make it fun. Rather than we wait to till the event happen, and then maybe in a later on or the day for the event we wants to ask questions. I don't feel like that is the best. Let us as a community right now do what we are supposed to do, ask our questions, and then understand the group of people who are working on this project and understand them very, very well. So that way, if we know how to help them get to where they want to be. I don't know if I understand where they are the travel talk. And that is the reason why we are having this conversation. That is the reason why we are having this conversation. So, guys, go ahead and share the video. Go ahead and let us know which questions you want us to ask them. They call themselves. The project is Mission Ball 2023. This is a project that has been running for more than 10 years. Yeah, approximately 10 years, and they've done wonderful already. We have videos. We have things that we're going to show you about what they have been doing for our community. So this is just a good reason for us. Um, a good reason for us to jump in here and have this fine conversation. Yeah, I think I have some few people who have commented. Bay is already there. My sister, my boss, Rashid Triple is already there. Watching. I think this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a successful one. Sylvia, for those who the one that will be B, Sylvia, na B. Either for comment section, either watch. Uh, that is the person I'm in love with. Yeah, so guys, go ahead and share to your Facebook, share to your WhatsApp, share as much as possible so we can have as many people as possible watching. um that way we can get to ask them questions, we can get to talk, we can get to have conversations that can make the upcoming event success beautiful, because that is just what we want to do, in as much as we want to raise funds to go build the community over in motherland. We also want to have fun, we want to do it having fun. So now more of it's more like a we come together to have fun and then raise funds to go make to go create fun for the people over in motherland. Isn't that beautiful? Don't you want to be part of that? Don't you want to be part of a project where our communities that will make our community smile? Don't you want to be part of a project where the people many years will be like, oh, I actually lived this life. I actually was able to smile. I actually was able to do this or that, because this group of people came together, put their resources together, and provided us with this, or this, or this, or this. That is what we are doing out here today. We are having conversations to build our community, conversations that would definitely take us to where we want to be. If some person don't do something for 10 years, if some group of people don't do something for 10 years, if some group of people don't invest for 10 years, if some group of people don't put smile for people that face for 10 years, what else can we do? What else can we do but come together and give them the push they need to continue doing that exact thing? Um, Most of the times, people like this, they start this on their own. Most of the times, organizations like this or started from pockets from their own personal money from their own personal pockets. But sometimes it get overwhelming. I know people like this, they don't really care. All they know is I want to do this, it makes me happy. But I think they can do more. I think they can do more, especially if we decide to invest. I think they can do more, especially if we decide, you know what, guys, let us jump on and make this thing happen for us all. Um, and that is what we want to do today. Want to have this conversation with them, talk to them, talk about what they have done. They continue to emphasize these because it's really, really important. Nowadays, you have a group of people who go around doing things and there's no accountability. There is no documentation. There's nothing, right? But then when you meet a group of people who have been doing it for the longest time, and they still do it with that smile in their faces, they still do it and they document every part of the deal, every part of the project, and you ask them about this, and they are able to give an account of this and that and that and that and that, and then you're like, whoa, why can we not jump on this project? Why is Toridey not supposed to support this project? Why should Toridey not endorse this project? Why should Toridey not fly from Texas to Maryland just to be a part of this beautiful show? That is definitely what Toridey should do. That is what we as a community should do. That is what we as a people should do. Look for people. Now, this is the other thing, right? So many people want to do so many good things for our community, but they probably not get the time. They get the resources, they get everything, but most of them not get the time. That is the reason why we have people like what Mission Ball is trying to do. Not trying to do, but have been doing for the past 10 years. For the past 10 years. Even when it was rough during the COVID, even when it was rough during. So for the past 10 years, these guys, they want them say they never go through their own difficulties, their own bills, their own hardship, their own. But they stand strong. They stayed up. They were like, you know what, this course, this project is more important than I go manage this 1 liter, I go do this 1 liter, I go. But about this particular project, we must continue to push. When I looked at the pictures, when I looked at the videos, when I looked at the material we don't put out there, I'm like, whoa, this is so beautiful. That is how I reach out to them and like, hey, I want to have you guys on Toridey, man. I want to have you guys on Toridey. We need to talk about this. I definitely am going to support also, but let's start from somewhere. Because that's me. I don't only fly from Yego Maryland. No, I will make sure say I support in every possible way because I see some group of people who are transparent. I see a group of people who are passionate about building our community. I see a group of people who are transparent about what they do for our community. I see a group of people who, um, bro, these guys are, I don't even know how to put it. I don't want to use the word gentlemen because we have ladies among them. These guys, you know what? I think it's time we just bring them in and have this conversation. But like I said earlier, I think it's going to be a beautiful one. Um, bring somebody. When we are having conversations like this, now is the time for you to invite a friend. Invite a friend. Tell them to invite another friend. Tell them to invite one or two people, so we can ask questions together. People they always say, "Oh, Sako, you always focus now via questions," and yeah, I dey focus my question at the moment, right? But then if you guys drop your questions for comment section, I'll definitely focus on those also, and then we get to discuss as a community. Um, when I go ahead and share the video, when I go ahead and share the video, um, yeah, just go ahead and share the video. We'll see how we if we kickstart this beautiful, wonderful conversation. Yeah, I think I like it. Yeah. I think I like it. Yeah, I think I like it. By the way, for those who are watching already, is this your first time watching Toridey? Um, have you been watching? Are you? I need to talk with Bill. I need to talk with Ashe Chipo. I need to open up for me. For those who are watching right now, is this your first time on Toridey? If it's not your first time, where are you watching from? Please remember to always comment. It's only when you comment that we get to know this person is watching, and we can actually give you the accolades, the flowers that you deserve. You for be for some different side and they do your different things. So many beautiful things a day around the world you for feed it to. But guess what? You decided I want to come on Toridey and watch and listen to my people talk, and if possible ask them questions, if possible make suggestions, if possible guide them on how to go about things. That is what we're doing right here. That is what we are doing right here. And like I said earlier, it's going to be a very interesting segment. I know why I'm saying this. You look at the team of people who are working on this project. They are wonderful. They are wonderful. They are wonderful. Yeah, they are wonderful. They are wonderful. I want you to look at this image. Look at that image. What do you see when you see that image? When you see when you what do you see? I want to write down a comment section. I beg. What comes to your mind when you see this image, the particular image? The water, the kid, the smile. Look at the teeth. Look at the eyes. Look at the water will fall for a hand and everything. What do you think when you see that image? I see love. I see happiness. See a community that is working for each other to grow. I see a young lady who knows and believes they have a bright future, they have a tomorrow. I see a lot. I see a lot, and that's the reason why we are here today, to continue having these conversations, so we can actually, as a community, know what to do and what not to do, to get us to that place which is far more better, than we ever dreamt of. Very, very soon, I go add my boss. I go add my boss. I want to add my boss, guys. I want you guys to not only clap. I want you guys to celebrate him. I want you guys to shout. Um, I want you guys to thank him. Do all of this because we are here to thank him. We are not here to. We're not here for here now for raise funds. No, we're here for here now for acknowledge what they have been doing, for tell them thank you, for encourage them, for beg them may they not relent, for remind them say, now God don't put you now for that place for do that work. So even when we need the support, we now would the beg more continue for do them. That is what we are here to do as a people. I go add my brother now. When I add my brother, by the way, I hope you guys are sharing. And I'll add my brother now. And when I add my brother, I want yell on a clap. Yeah, boss, boss, boss.
Boss, it's good to be on the show finally.
Oh God, I think I should thank you. First of all, move fix your framing. The space above your head is too
Hmm.
much. Can you slant your camera down a little bit?
Let's see. Let's see. How's that?
Some more.
Is that how's that? Is
Yeah,
that
I think that
adjusted
is
better?
so good. Yeah, that's so
Okay.
good.
Good. Good. Good.
First of all, Nami, I want to thank you. Now we there for thank you for which we did do. Busy America, crazy America. By the way, Toridey is French, Pidgin, English, and I hope you already know. Say I
Would
like
it
Pidgin
would
very
it would it
badly.
talk on would it talk on? Oh, no worry.
So,
Even though I
first
don't
of
come up, I don't stay outside of PA 27 years. Pigeon they come
well,
up. I'm up.
the
They
enough to come on board.
they know
That's in your DNA, and it goes to explain why you're so passionate about our community, developing our community, building our community. Because even though you don't stay out this long, anything way you see them for you, the only feeling like you know what. I feel like this one to get for be for down day. Picking them for down day, they get for enjoy this. The people for down day, they get for the enjoy this, and it's so beautiful, man. Must start by thanking you for what you're doing for our community.
Thank
America
you, bro.
busy.
Thank you, bro. Thank
America
you.
is crazy. America is so many things. How manage people like you to still find time for juggle around work and many other things, and then still struggle for do things. Not only struggle for do things, but even travel, go back home for go make sure say everything they go on well. I don't know me how I do them. But like I
No,
said, I
the,
just say my thank you first. Yeah.
no, bro. The most important thing sometimes in life we say it's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
When you find purpose for life, when you find meaning for life, when you find calling, when you find that one thing where God talks in that the thing that we get for doing,
Yeah.
right? You look at everything else and you tell yourself that this becomes a priority. This
Yeah.
becomes, it's not if when I get to it, it's like as I go along and as
Mm-hmm.
God provides, we will
Mm-hmm.
get it done.
Wow.
So for me, it's passion driven. It is a calling. It is a mandate from God
Mm-hmm.
Himself, and say
Wow.
this is the problems. We have so many issues in the world. We have so many.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not even focus on. Let's just say inside of Cameroon, we have so
Yeah.
many things that we can tackle, right? But this is the one thing that God put on my heart, impressed upon my heart, and say you me, we as a
Mm-hmm.
community, as an organization,
Mm-hmm.
there is something that we need to address.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the provision of clean water.
Mhm.
That was the one thing that was made loud and clear and visible.
Mm.
That when you say, how do you have all these other things that you are doing, but how
Mm.
do you make time for this?
Wow.
It simply said that it's a purpose. It's purpose
Wow.
driven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boss, might show you some picture and then I want me ignore every other writing onto that picture. Just pay attention for probably the tap, the
Hmm.
water, and the kid. What
Yes.
comes to your mind when you see that picture?
Um, Bro, I remember that young girl vividly.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we were in Marua. I think that was last year, last our
Mm-hmm.
last campaign in Marua. Most of
Mm-hmm.
our projects have been done in Marua, but we are also doing projects in the southwest.
Mm-hmm.
That girl, the morning before we drilled for clean water, um,
Mm-hmm.
we went to her house with her mother, and her mother took me and our team on a two
Mm-hmm.
and a half mile walk, which is about maybe 3 kilometers or so, or
Yeah.
1.5 kilometers or so,
Mm-hmm.
to where they normally fetch for water. And
Wow.
where they fetch for water is not necessarily that they are getting clean water. They are going to
Yeah.
fetch for dirty water and
Wow.
bring it back home. So they are walking 1.5 kilometers just to walk back another 1.5 kilometers with dirty water.
Wow.
Sometimes they just drink that water directly. So when
Wow.
I see that image, when I see that picture, when I see
Mm-hmm.
that young girl, when I see her face,
Mm-hmm.
when you see the smile, when you see her eyes, when you see the water, you see a girl who is now purpose filled.
Wow.
You see someone who now say there's life, there's
This.
vitality, there's a future, there's a young
Yes.
girl who can now go to school, there's a young girl who is no longer, who no longer will have to be sick,
Yep.
who will not have to miss school because they are sick, who will not have to miss school because they have to spend hours upon hours upon hours just to go and fetch for clean
Fetch
water.
water.
This is
Yep.
the story that we have all throughout Cameroon and all throughout
Yep.
Africa.
Yep.
And so
Wow.
when you look at that, when you see how pure,
Mm-hmm.
this is a raw image that our on-field photographer took.
Mm-hmm.
Very pure. She was getting, we made her the child of honor to have the first drink, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember the journey her and I took.
Yeah.
We were walking. I said, no, she has to be the first one to take the first drink. And
Wow.
in that moment, we capture the essence of the work that we do, to bring smiles like this, to bring hope, to bring happiness, to bring joy, to transform communities.
Wow. Boss, sorry, sir, the rush. We'll go back
No
for
worry,
beginning.
no worry. We'll go. We did.
When I was looking at the images the whole night, I was like, damn, this is so like that smile, and I see hope. I believe things will get better. I see a lot in that particular image. We'll go back for beginning. I know probably the people that they watch now, most of them know you, but for the few way they watch where they don't know you, just tell us your names, and where you from, and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. So, greetings everyone. I salute
Mm-hmm.
my people. They have far. How on a
Mm-hmm.
day. My names are Rich Akwo.
Mm-hmm.
Kumba boy, born raised in Kumba. I grew up, spent my childhood in Kumba town. So I be
Really?
Kate, yeah, Kate Pikin Masa. Na Cape Town Masa. No.
No, I don't hear Akwo. I never want even go for the book. I wanted us to treat this whole project first, and I'll
Yes.
ask you say way to Akwo. Now, go ahead, boss. We'll talk that.
Yeah, we'll talk for backside, no worry. But
Yeah.
so I don't be a task just about 28 years now. It's been a while.
Hmm.
But
Wow.
um since I did here,
Hmm.
there's something about Cameroon that always speaks to me, that always
Hmm.
speaks to my heart.
Hmm.
And so, we always say you can either hold on to your roots or you can forget your roots.
Very true.
Some of us would come here, I don't have the crazy story that most people have when they come as immigrants, when they have to go through different channels and different
Hmm.
things. I was fortunate that one of my lovely aunts played the lottery visa and we got a green card visa. That's how we get here,
Hmm.
my father, my parents, and I. So
Hmm.
being here for that long, um it's like you would think I will forget where I'm from, but for me,
Hmm.
forgetting where I'm from is not an option. Cameroon is my
Yeah.
heart. Cameroon is my joy. Cameroon is everything. And the work that we do is everything. So I not only lead this organization, we call it Generosity Global. That's the name of the
Mm-hmm.
organization. We are
Yeah.
a non-profit NGO recognized in the US, recognized in Kenya, recognized in Cameroon. And the
Wow.
organization has been in existence for the past 13 years.
Yeah.
I co-lead it along with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
who unfortunately cannot be on the show, but
Mm-hmm.
she is a senior co-founder as well as senior director of Women's Initiative. So
Mm-hmm.
Generosity Global not only tackles water crisis, but will also focus on women's menstrual health and hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, I'm a father of three boys,
Mm-hmm.
and married now for 11 years.
Wow.
And also, I'm an entrepreneur outside of this, focusing on
Mm-hmm.
real estate, not only
Mm-hmm.
here in the US, but also in Cameroon and some parts of Africa. We are really focused on changing the luxury experience for
Mm-hmm.
people in Cameroon when it comes to real estate with our company Empire Ventures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of who I am. Obviously, any questions that come in, I am more than happy to answer those questions.
Oh, for those who they for those that people they ever say Kumba people na this na that una can see Kumba picking. Una can see Kumba.
Son of the
Man,
soil, bro. Son of the soil.
I'm so happy. How did it start for you? How did you guys get to, you know what? This is what I know you talked about purpose. By the way, you needed to get to that place before you realize, okay, this is my purpose. But then how did you get to, you know what? I feel like I really want to start doing something like this.
Yeah. No, the genesis of, let's just say, the clean water
Yeah.
initiatives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the organization started in the US, and
Yes.
for the first few years, our focus was on feeding the homeless here in the US.
Yeah.
It was just up to last year that we ended that program. So for 144 consecutive months,
Wow.
myself and over pre-COVID, we had like almost 150 volunteers that came
Mm-hmm.
feeding nearly 600 homeless men and women in Baltimore. That's where I'm based. I'm based now in Colombia, but Baltimore is
Mm-hmm.
not too far from us.
Yeah.
And so that's how we started the organization. But upon traveling to Cameroon, I believe was 2012,
Yeah.
2012 or so. Yeah, 2012. I visited a clinic in Kumba, a clinic in Kumba Ifiango.
Mm-hmm.
And in that clinic, I experienced something that changed my life forever, right? And
Mm-hmm.
led me on this path.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I went there um, as I would normally go when I go back home, when I visit back home, go to the hospital, go to
Yeah.
the clinic, go somewhere just to give back, just to help. In
Mm-hmm.
that clinic, there was a young girl who had where you don't drink dirty water, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl don't drink dirty water, and now that dirty water don't get diarrhea.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that girl die. That
Oh
became die
Lord.
because of something so simple. It's in a diarrhea, but if family no be get no way, no means for treaty on time. So by the time we come inside that clinic, it would already be terminal. So I'm sure,
Wow.
amongst other things, led to her untimely demise.
Yeah.
So for me, as I did fly back for after that visit, I did fly back for a task. I did do research on what they playing. I did see and say this water crisis now really big epidemic globally,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not only for Cameroon, but when you look at globally,
Yeah.
over 650 million people they don't get access or clean water,
Wow.
right? If you look sub-Saharan Africa alone, 300 million people they suffer for lack of access to clean water.
Wow.
Right. So that's how generosity global eventually say. Because for me, I'll be always say, okay, yes, we do thing for a task, we do thing for America, but I always wanted to do something back in my home country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will give me, for me, it was more like this is your legacy. This is, your commitment to your people, to your community. And so when we, engage in the water activity some 10 years ago, that's how it started. we started very small. We started, I mean, the first project that we did was actually in Kumba,
Mhm.
at Madi's orphanage. If you know that orphanage, is
Mhm.
very well known. That's our very first project that we did, overall. And ever since
Mhm.
then, we've just been adding project after project,
Project.
between Cameroon and Kenya, and
Mhm.
the vision has always been big. Like I was
Yeah.
telling you backstage, but sometimes that
Mhm.
vision has to be met with reality of funding, and so
Mhm.
we just trust God. We lead with passion, we lead with energy. If you know me and you know who I am, I'm somebody who brings the energy to the table and
Mhm.
transparency. Say this is what we are doing, and we invite everyone to jump on board.
And that was a question I was. You mentioned funds already, and that was a question I was going to ask you because you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
And I truly say, even when we get the money, paka, sometimes the be way, like how you don't dey do, how you don't dey cope with all of that because bills for America are crazy. How you don't dey do for cope with the bills, all this while not only your bills, but then for still fund these projects.
Yeah, bro. So the NGO be separate from my personal. Well, not necessarily separate from my personal life, but in terms
Mm-hmm.
of the NGO, right?
Mm-hmm.
We raise money specifically for the NGO. I don't put my
NGO.
own money inside the NGO, right? In the startup days, even to this very day, would you put
Mm-hmm.
money inside it? But would you raise? We raise funds separately outside of whatever we do. So through this event, we will talk about,
Mm-hmm.
through grants, through generous donations from people like yourselves and people in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Through so many things, we are able to fund the activities, right?
Yeah.
And so, for me personally, because of my engagement in business outside of this, that's how I take care of myself. The NGO does not pay me, right? Generosity
Mm-hmm.
Global does not pay me a dime, and that's a testament, bro. For like 15, 13 years of doing this work without receiving a single dime as payment. That would
Mm-hmm.
tell most people when you start, they say, the boy one use this way for make money, right?
Mhm,
That has never been the intention. And
mhm,
for someone who has put his life and dedicated his life to this mission without receiving any sort of payment, that would tell
mhm.
you where my heart is and tell you what I am passionate about and what I am here to do. So,
No.
you know, that question, that the answer to that question really comes down to simply, funding plays a big role in us being
Mhm.
able to execute on the projects, as well as, report back to our supporters, our stakeholders, our donors as to what it is that we are doing.
Wow. Guys, like I dey always tell una, name not only about me. If any person get any question, make sure so you put in our comment section. This is that time for us to ask questions. Maybe say we'll come again on the day of the event. Now that time I want to ask question before we make donations
Hmm.
and all of that. Any person we need clarity, I think this would be a good time for you to drop your comment, your question for comment section. Boss, I see some wonderful video right now. Can you just throw a little light on what this video was is all about?
Yeah, so at this video, the highlight our women's initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we'll believe and say, when we bring water for any community, right? When
Mm-hmm.
we do water projects,
Mm-hmm.
the people that we really target, obviously we target the entire community, but we really focus on women and young girls,
Mm-hmm.
because we know say most of the time it's the women and the young girls who are um, relied upon to fetch for water, to clean, do all these common tasks. And so
Yeah.
when you look at that, it means that they are losing time in, maybe that woman is losing time in taking care of her children. That woman is losing time in maybe doing some farm work that
Yeah.
will bring income to her house. So that young girl is losing time going to school. That
Mhm.
young girl is losing time in so many different ways, right? So once we introduce clean water to a community,
Mhm.
this generosity women was
Yeah.
birthed out of the need for women to manage their menstrual hygiene.
Wow.
With my own two eyes, so bro, when I
Mhm.
did Kenya, I see something where woman there for a menses. She was doing her cycle, and in a very remote village, she had to use dirty leaves to stop her flow. That's known as a say. Yeah, no, no, it was, would they inside village for Kenya. You see, I'm so that so you say what that man you do not leaves there. You say so blood don't flow. So imagine the infection, imagine all the things, right? That have to that she has to deal with. And so we introduce generosity women as a way to really support women when it comes to menstrual health, hygiene, and management. So through that program, would he teach women, how to, manage their period, as well
Mhm.
as educate them about their menstrual cycle. Most women, believe it or not,
Mhm. Mhm.
even man picking them, but some of these women in remote settings in
Mhm.
sub-Saharan Africa have no idea what the period is all about. Say for some
Yeah,
for some village and a shame self, say you
for
bleed
Tokam.
for
Yeah.
talker. Even for we'll get center for limber, we'll get generosity women center for limber. Plenty women they don't can they plenty young girl they don't can they way they fear for talk about their period because say some people they don't coach them, they don't make fun of them, all these things,
Mhm.
right? So generosity women exist to equip women with the tools and the resources to manage their period. But on top of that, would it teach them life skills where they feel use and not for monetize?
Mhm.
For not only learn how to make reusable pads, but also learn how to sew, and then now they feel so in a way they feel sell enough for generate income for
Income.
themselves.
Wow. Wow. Man, this is beautiful. Boss, um I'll ask you the other question. So Mission Ball 2023. By
Yes.
the way, before we go to 2023, when did you guys start on with the whole Mission Ball project?
The first mission ball will be in 2020, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Now our first event that we hosted it,
Mm-hmm.
back Massa that day, it was like you don't hit gold, right? The first
Yeah.
event we had about 28 people showed up, and then we raised just over $3,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be glad to take because that $3,000 being says so what they come, right?
Yeah.
And that was all slated for Madi's orphanage. And so
Mm-hmm.
even though nobody reached our goal, it
Mm-hmm.
was a start. And then
Mm-hmm.
through some other friends and sponsors, they add some money. Then we'll feel realize the goal to drill a water project in Madi's orphanage. Back
Mm-hmm.
in 2015, that's when we actually did the project. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but the first mission ball was 10 years ago. So it's a fundraising gala. We
Mm-hmm.
say, we are going to a ball that is filled with a mission. So that's why I call it
Mm-hmm.
mission ball. It's a gala, it's a dance, and it's
Mm-hmm.
an event. It's a time for us to look good, to feel good, to smell good, so that way we can do good, right? So 10 years in, this is a 10-year anniversary from Mission Ball, and
Mm-hmm.
we are looking to do bigger, a big event this year on October 14th here in
Mm-hmm.
Maryland.
Wow. Why do you think it was some people they always feel like, you know what, fundraising we just need for come, take time, raise money, and then maybe chop small one or two fish and this and that, and then go. But if we look at the videos, the pictures and all of that, it looks like more like a classic event. And
Yes,
then before even the fundraiser, why did you think
yes.
it was necessary for you to do that?
you know, um, I don't always talk. I always said, whenever I have an event, it has to be
Mm-hmm.
the talk of town. It has
Yeah.
to be classy. It has to be top notch. It has to be filled with ambience, right?
Yeah.
One thing I hate is going to boring events. One thing I
Mm-hmm.
hate, like, when the moment you step in the door for Mission Ball, the moment you come in, you know that this is filled with energy, right?
Wow.
We fill it with just about everything from entertainment to fashion shows to
Mm-hmm.
great speakers to
Mm-hmm.
great content. I really believe that the content in itself
Mm-hmm.
is what really drives you, because we take you through the journey of the year before,
Mm-hmm.
the year that we just came from, so you can
Mm-hmm.
see, especially our donors, our guests, our attendees, they can see exactly what they invested in, right?
Wow.
Which, you spoke about it earlier, the
Mm-hmm.
transparency of the
Mm-hmm.
organization, the
Mm-hmm.
transparency of our work, so people can
Mm-hmm.
see and they
Mm-hmm.
can make a decision right then and there to say, you know what, this is where I want to commit my money to.
Mhm,
So I don't believe in boring events.
mhm,
I like events where people look good. I like events where people are engaging. I like events
mhm,
where people are not, they are not ready to leave the next second. They want to stay there to the very end. And of course, we have music, we have dancing at the end of it all, right?
mm,
So when people come to Mission Ball, they are, when I say that when you invest in Mission Ball, you are investing in more than just a fundraiser. You are
Wow.
investing in the transformation of lives. People that you will never see, people that you may never touch, people that you never say hello to.
Mm-hmm.
But these are people that are just like you and I, that are our children,
Mm-hmm.
far, far, far away. But
From
we
here.
are investing to make sure that we can secure their future.
Wow. Boss, Mission Board 2023. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen that day.
Man, like we've been saying,
Mm-hmm.
amongst our team,
Yeah.
I'm a man of faith, bro, and it's been a journey planning this event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I were discussing behind the scenes, like it's never a smooth sailing. This
Mm-hmm.
event would depend on sponsors, we depend on well wishers, we depend on people to make this event happen. It just so happened that in the year number 10, we've been faced with, coming out of COVID, our sponsorships are down,
Mm-hmm.
our, engagement is down. Not anything we do, it's just the reality of the business space. Excuse me, let me turn on this light.
Okay.
I think it just went off. Excuse me 1 second, please. There you
Yes.
go. So not anything we do, but sponsorship has been challenging. So we come into the event knowing that okay, we have just a few sponsors, because the
Mm-hmm.
way we've always designed the event is we reach out to sponsors to sponsor the cost of the event, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the ambience, the drinks, the food, all those things,
Mm-hmm.
so that way every ticket that is purchased, everything that donation that comes in and I can be
Mm-hmm.
sent directly to the field.
Yeah.
That's how I've always believed in doing this type of thing. That way we can create full transparency. We can
Mm-hmm.
tell our sponsors that you sponsor this event, we thank you so much for making us deferring that cost, and now we
Mm-hmm.
can absorb you know everything that comes in at night and send it to the field, so we can realize 100% of the effect.
Mm-hmm.
So mission ball, you will expect greatness.
Mm-hmm.
You expect you come in there and you meet like-minded people who are all about community impact, who are all about transformation, who are all about uplifting one
Mm-hmm.
another. You come in there and you meet change makers, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not only the good thing is not only just what Generosity Global is doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is how are we engaging with other people who are in the community doing good work?
Yeah.
How? Because that's how we can see how we can leverage, partnerships, how we can leverage collaborations, how we can leverage different things, so that way our work is not just for us and us alone,
Very
right? It
true.
takes us all to work together. It takes you using this platform to say, let me bring awareness. It takes somebody else that may be in education. When we go into a community that, even though our focus is water and women, they may have expertise in schools and education. Say, well, how about you tag along? Let us not only bring clean water to a school, but how about we can renovate a school and give these children access to a better future?
Yeah.
So when you come to mission board, just come with expectation of a great, well planned, executed event, quality event.
Wow. Boss, ma, take questions. How do you go about to ensure that sustainability of your project is in place? Because it's one thing to provide these things and other thing to keep it functioning. Question from someone who's watching.
Yeah. Excuse me. Very
By
good
the way, I
question.
beg
Are
ma
you
correct,
are
ma
you
correct.
are you seeing me clearly?
I dey
It
see
seems
you.
dark.
Yeah, it dark small now because that light from your back.
Yeah,
The,
might put it blind down.
yeah, if you put that blind, I think it'll be perfect. Yeah,
Ah, there you
it's
go.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I be say my correct. I be say question from some person for comment section. The earlier I talk say na be question, the better before I sleep for outside.
You're correct yourself, sharp,
Ma
sharp, bro.
ma correct
No, no, no,
yourself.
even no, even play.
Yeah,
Mo Salobe.
yeah.
No, so very good question, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we build and we plan everything we do around sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
because the reality is, in Africa alone, there are so many failed projects, be
Very
it
true.
clean water projects, be it any initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the years of existence for us can be a testament to like how committed we are to making sure that our projects succeed. To date, we have drilled 28 boreholes throughout
Wow.
Cameroon. Over
Wow.
70,000 people have been impacted.
Wow.
And as of now, the oldest one is, I think, yeah, the oldest one being in Madis orphanage, that's about 8 years old.
Wow.
I think on of that 28, just one had failed, right?
Wow.
And it failed because of bad management within that community that we gave that project to. So when we
Mm-hmm.
go into a community, especially with water projects, what we do is we form, you know, water committees. We have
Yeah.
people who are, designated to manage the project. We equip
Mm-hmm.
them with not only the knowledge on how to repairs, but we equip them on the knowledge on how to, you know, collect small finances that they themselves can use if we are not
Yeah.
in the field to fix those things, right?
Mm.
The reason why we build generous, or we invest in generous women program, because we realize that when we can invest in women within those communities, now we can create a safe haven, a place where people can come and gather and talk about community issues, right?
Yeah.
But really strategically really focus more on the management and the maintenance of each water point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I've realized that, boreholes themselves, especially the ones that you're pushing with your hand, they're
Mm-hmm.
not as, they are effective to a point, but they break down really fast. So
Fast.
now, as we look into the future, the next 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
we are now looking at more sustainable projects. We are looking at projects where can be, powered by technology. We are looking at
Mm-hmm.
projects where, people can simply come and put something like an ATM card. It would
Mm-hmm.
dispense water.
Mm-hmm.
Now that ATM card is collecting, some kind of money,
Yeah.
which is now being used to not only take care of that particular project site, but also
Mm-hmm.
can now be poured back into the organization where, because bro, say they work, no, now work
Mm-hmm.
where one man they do them, right? There are
Yeah.
people on the
Very
ground.
true.
So we
Very
have
true.
to account for our field personnel, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that they themselves are being paid.
Yeah.
It's people think just because you're in charity, it has to be free. People
Mm-hmm.
think just because you are in charity, you just have to volunteer for free. Yes, we take
Mm-hmm.
volunteers, but there are people who commit their life to this. We have
Life.
people in Cameroon. We
Mm.
have over, between Cameroon and Kenya, we have over 15 staff.
Wow.
And somebody has to pay them, right?
Yeah.
Somebody has to make sure that these people are eating themselves, because
Mm.
most of them come from impoverished backgrounds. So
Very true.
we want to be an organization that say we're not only generous to the community, but we are generous to our people who ensure that
Sure then.
these projects succeed, to
Wow.
ensure that these projects can sustain. So when you talk about sustainability, it's very important. I always challenge anyone who I mentor, anyone who I empower, to say, how can this project sustain without you? How can this project last even if you're not there? And
Mm-hmm.
if you go throughout Marua, where we have been operating,
Yeah.
there's always a GPS, a GPS location of all of our projects, where you can go there right now and see that those projects are still existing. People are still
Well.
carrying water there. People are still fetching water.
Wow. Baba, another question for my sister. I'm interested in knowing how the sanitary pads initiative is being sustained. Do the women go to the centers to pick up pads for free, or do you provide them continuously at low cost?
So the pads itself is for the women in the program, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
we come into, let's just say, in Limbe, right? Since
mhm,
most of our audience is Cameroon right now. In Limbe, we have a center in Limbe, and women come into the center not knowing anything, not knowing about their menstrual, cycle, their anything. So we
mhm,
first educate and empower them, so they
mhm,
know about this, and then now we go into learning craftsmanship.
mhm,
The pads being the initial thing, because again, when you talk about sustainability, right? The when we look at, if people had to keep buying over and over and over, especially in very remote areas in
areas.
Africa, even in Cameroon, they
Yeah.
first, they don't have the money.
Mhm,
Secondly, how much can they buy that you know they can keep with them? And then third, it becomes a you know you know, you know, a dirty pile when they use and they throw away. They're not disposing of it properly. So now
yeah.
the introduction of these sanitary pads now, with the addition of clean water and other mechanisms that we introduce to help women not only use it but also disinfect it and sanitize it and reuse it over and over, you know,
Yeah.
it now gives women something where they can have for years and years to come. Each pad, from what we have seen, has a
Mhm.
lifespan of about 2 years if properly taken care of. So you
Wow.
can use the same pad over and over and over and over for up to 2 years without
Wow.
it, causing any issues. Now, what is required is that you sanitize it, you maintain it properly, you wash it, after use, which in
Mm-hmm.
our centers we teach women how to do all those things.
Mm-hmm.
We have, 3 leaders in Limbe who, facilitate, the center and make sure that women are equipped with the knowledge that they need. We
Mm-hmm.
have a seamstress that comes in to teach women how to sew these pads, as well as other garments, from dresses to bags to things that they now are using to monetize as a way to get income for themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
the answer to the to the question is, women can always feel free to visit the center, and I'm very sure if we have enough products, we can always give those to the community, because our goal is to serve the community. Our goal is to have as many of these products as possible, that if a woman is in need, she doesn't have to go without.
Wow. Boss, I want me to reiterate for those who they will attend the event. Besides the fundraiser, wait be the other small fun thing that will probably happen. For make we enjoy, make we smile.
No, I mean the event usually is built around, we get, happy hour, we get mingling sessions. People just come,
Mm-hmm.
just engage, nothing, not time wanted to raise money, just for like,
Yeah.
friends to meet, friends to
Mm-hmm.
connect. We get cocktail hour, right? You
Yeah.
just come, just I'll say the calm before the storm, right?
Yeah.
Last year we'll be fortunate. We bring Stanley Eno
Mm-hmm.
for the event, who was a great ambassador for, or still is a great ambassador for Generosity
Mm-hmm.
Global. And then,
Mm-hmm.
after the event, we get after party,
Mm-hmm.
usually, our partner there, Spectrum Lounge, always invites all the guests, here in the
Mm-hmm.
DMV area. We'll go have a good time, enjoy, just to commemorate the event. But most importantly, is the networking, right? I believe in networking. I believe in people coming together, sharing ideas,
Yeah.
sharing of ideas and concepts, and the thing that happens when we speak, when we engage each other.
Yeah.
Like you said, community building starts with, communication or conversations, right?
Yes.
So the more we can have conversations around certain things, that's when things start changing, that's when things start happening, and that's when we start seeing real good community transformation. So it's a jam-packed day. A lot is happening, but most importantly, that I can guarantee you, you will leave changed than when you came in. You will transform. If you've never been part of this event, if anybody who was watching was being part of this event, they will tell you what to expect. You will come in there one person, you will be transformed to want to go out and do something. If the thing you want to do does is not with Generosity Global, you want to go. My mission is always to inspire people to want
People
and go out there and pick up their own, mantle, and say, this is what I want to do to
do.
impact my community. And of
Wow.
course, I am there to support. I am there to help. I am there to push you. I am there to
Wow.
mentor, to guide, to
Wow.
direct people as to how they should go about doing it.
Boss, some person they already asked if they wanted to reach out to you guys, websites, phone numbers, emails, and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is www.generosityglobal.org. O-R-G. So generosityglobal.org. You can connect with us there. You can go there. You can see everything, everything that we do. Obviously on Instagram as well as Facebook. You can just, at Generosity Global. You can find us there as well. You can send us messages. My team, communication teams will receive that, and they'll be able to connect you to where you need to be connected. Even in Cameroon, we have a leader, Mr. George Tabi, who
Mhm.
basically is our African region director. He basically oversees not just Cameroon but also oversees Kenya,
Mhm.
and he is accessible. We have our office in Douala,
Mhm.
and in Limbe we have our Generosity Women's Center,
Mhm.
that's there, and it's accessible to anybody who needs to go there, it's right there in Middle Farms, and they can go there and check it out. If they want to learn more, we can obviously send us a message, send us questions, and we can answer that for you.
This is your website, right?
Yes, that's the website, generosityglobal.org.
Okay, that's beautiful, guys. You can always go there. If I think it's easy to, easy for keep out of your head. Generosity Global. Go
Yes.
there if you're looking for maybe their social media, everything, contact information. You want to make donations. You can just go there and do whatever you wanted to do. Let me see if I click the Facebook. You see, it takes us directly to their Facebook page. You
Yep.
see, so it's just so easy. We even have a phone number, we have an
Mhm.
email, and
Yep.
everything you need to contact them. So the person you'll be trying to contact them, I think you have the information or you need. Just go for their website, which is generosityglobal.com.org. Sorry,
Yeah.
.org.
.org.
You,
Yes.
you go ahead and I beg try make donation before you start do any other thing.
I know no. No. Send in the money. We need it. We need it, and it'll be stewarded properly. Don't worry. That's what
Yeah.
we do. That's one thing that we stand on as an organization. For me, it's one thing for people to invest in you, right, and
Mm-hmm.
invest in the work and the cause, because we earn, most, everybody, they work hard for this money, and we all
Mm-hmm.
know. The
Yeah.
truth of the matter is, bro, we know the story.
Mm-hmm.
NGO for pay, na
Yeah.
way for man for just bank money.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always said that will never be my story. That will never be
Sure.
our story, because I don't need the money. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that we do every year is we have our books, our audits, and we
Mm-hmm.
pass every audit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fully transparent what we do, so that way anybody who can come and ask any questions, like you said, the
Mm-hmm.
proof is there, the evidence is there, how much we spent in the field is there, how much our people are being paid is there, all those things. And the truth of the matter is, we have done so much with very little. you know
Yeah.
my prayer is always like, if anybody who knows me knows I'm a big vision guy, and I think really big, and I want to make sure everybody has access to clean water. But
Mm-hmm.
the reality is, my dream and my vision right now is a $75 million project, right? But
Yeah.
there are people out there that can write those checks. That's the real.
Definitely.
There are people.
Definitely.
There are a few people that you can knock on their door and write. And so for me, I'm always asking people. You may not necessarily have the money right now,
Mm-hmm.
but if you know someone who is looking for legacy, who is looking for impact, who is looking for transparency, who is looking for the real deal,
Mm-hmm.
please make an introduction to that person for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people who are looking and searching for the right places to invest their money for the right purposes.
Very
And
true.
so your silence or lack thereof, let's just say you speaking, can
Mm-hmm.
eventually open the door for
Mm-hmm.
Generosity Global to reach more people, not just in Cameroon, right? Because I believe that charity is global, right?
Yeah.
People always say, "Why are you not so much in Kumbaya, Kumba?" It's like, no, don't worry.
Yeah.
We do what we can,
Yeah.
But for me, God didn't just call me to Kumba. God didn't just call me to Cameroon. It's like wherever there's a need, and they trust me, the need is big. I'll get emails every day saying, "We need you here, we need you here." But we kindly say, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
because of our limited resources, we cannot
Resources.
we cannot help at this moment. So the prayer always is, if you can donate, donate. If you can support in any way, support. If you know people who are in the position to give and give big, please make that introduction.
Wow. By the way, we get my sister Solange from You Can Be Anything podcast, and she was asking ticket now how much. By so now information that for day. I think
Mhm.
if he this
Yeah, tickets. So this flyer, what they look at now, just different ways they put if you donate, right?
yes.
If you want text number, there, if you just text that number, it will
Mm-hmm.
send you link. If you on that link, it will send you a link and just donate. You can scan that code. You can donate via Cash App,
Mm-hmm.
Venmo. You can just go on, PayPal on the website, make a donation. you know
Mm-hmm.
Ticket for the event now $225 per ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now a table of 12
Mm-hmm.
is $22,200. So
Mm-hmm.
if you get 11 people when I come, when I actually save. So it's $184 per person if you buy a table, but
Mm-hmm.
one ticket at $225, right?
Okay.
And in that ticket is all inclusive, food, drinks, ambience, entertainment, impact.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it all, what is very beautiful is say, I invested money in this and I see the results.
Mm-hmm.
I invested money in this and I see what, Generosity Global is doing. I see what, Sharon and Nina who are in Limbe are doing in the
Doing.
center. I see what they
Mm-hmm.
are doing in Kenya. I see what they are doing. So the transparency is there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And any day, anytime you can knock on my door, say, what did you do with that money? I will show you. Because personally, 15 years, I've not used money from Generosity Global I've not been paid for Generosity Global. So that just tells you that my mind is not on the money. More so, my mind is on creating impact and building leaders who can influence a generation, right?
Wow.
I'm all, for me, it's about influencing one another in a good
Mm-hmm.
way, in a meaningful way, in a
Wow.
transformative way that we can take on this responsibility, this duty, and do it to the best of our abilities. Again,
Well.
I always say it doesn't always have to be about clean water. I believe everything starts and ends with clean water. That is my
Yeah.
belief.
Yeah.
It starts with clean water. Any community starts with clean water. But if your thing is, education, if your
Mm-hmm.
thing is HIV/AIDS, if your thing is mental disability, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
I say commit yourself to it, commit your heart to it, commit yourself with passion, with energy, with faith, believing that what you put yourself, the road that you put yourself on, God is going to bring along destiny helpers to help you achieve the goals. It's
Yeah.
never easy, it's never simple. But what I do believe is that if you commit, things happen, miracles happen.
Boss, what would you say to our community at this point in time? Which you want to tell our community? Which be that thing we think say our community really need to understand about projects like this? Where if you help them, help you achieve the bigger goal for way you try to achieve them.
Yeah, so the kind of project and then it just happen overnight. It
Mm-hmm.
takes planning, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one person, one organization, if you do it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes collaboration. We know the thing about Cameroon, I say, there's too much competition sometimes. I, for
Mm-hmm.
one, I don't care much about competition because I know what we are sent to do. I know what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know care if person say they want, oh, we want to do this thing. For me, I see it as a plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the more people will have that want to do clean water,
Yeah.
the faster we can reach the global goal.
Yeah.
Or let's just say the faster we can reach the goals in Cameroon to say, okay, this community has one, this, generosity goal can possibly, at the rate that we are in right now, we cannot reach
Yeah.
every single village in Cameroon.
Very
But
true.
if you have somebody else who is doing it and say, okay, how can we come together and, talk about what's working, basically share our stories as to stories of sustainability, stories of engagement, stories of empowerment, stories of fundraising, different
Mm-hmm.
strategies. How can we collaborate? So my message always is there is power in collaboration. There
Mm-hmm.
is power in working together. Now, I say that and I put a asterisk next to it. Don't come with to us with any kind of, there has to be foundation behind what you want to do. There has to be, legitimacy behind what you want. Because one thing I don't do is I don't get into any conny thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get into anything that is, that is going to be, you come back and say, there's something shady there, right?
Shady. Yeah.
So for me, if you are coming to want to partner with Generosity Global, bring something to the table, right?
Yeah.
Bring something of substance. It's not necessarily just money, but
Mm-hmm.
bring maybe background in being able to execute projects, right? If
Mm-hmm.
it's if it's building of schools, we want to see that you have the capacity and the ability to do that. Then we say, okay, we can do this, you can do this, and then at the end of the day, we all share the the success,
Mm-hmm.
But I would tell our community this: when you see leaders like myself and people who are all sold out,
Mm-hmm.
to this kind of work, support them. you know After you have investigated them and you trust them, support them at every
Yeah.
turn of the way, because the reality is many people have this vision, many people want to do, but they don't have the support.
Yeah.
Many people have a big dream and a big goal to transform, but the
Mm-hmm.
support is not there. And I have, you know a few, I think about 10 people that I mentor,
Mhm.
Their biggest cry to me every day. And I, Generosity Global experiences it as well, right?
Mhm.
Is we don't get enough support. We don't get the support that we need to be able
Mhm.
to keep the work going. So, you know, when organizations or charity work stops existing, it's not necessarily because the people stopped.
Yeah.
It's simply because that they didn't get the support to carry on. The question you asked me earlier is like, how do you sustain, bro?
Yeah.
My own, to the point where I'm personally going bankrupt. Money invested to make sure that these projects come to life. You see what I'm
Wow.
saying? That's the
Wow.
level of commitment sometimes. So when you talk about, you know, how can people, what message do you have for people? I say,
Mhm.
first off, think about collaboration. Let's collaborate. Let's work together as one on one. Bring something of substance to the table. Bring something of impact to the table,
Mm.
and to our audience who have the capacity to support or know people, support and invest in these projects. Because the reality is, and I tell, my brothers and sisters here in ETAS, when I not forget saying that for that, now we came from that
We
from
came
that
from
community.
there. Yeah.
Most of us had that experience of that girl that I walk with, 1.5 kilometers to go get that water.
Yeah.
Most people. So how can we forget? How can we forget something like that? So let us always be cognizant as to the needs of our people back home, because the reality, bro, this, I know this, you're in Texas, I'm in Maryland.
Well,
A dollar here goes a far way over there in Cameroon.
very true.
you know
Very
our
true.
average project costs us about $10,000, give and take, right?
Yeah.
And in that project, we're not only bringing water, we are building sustainability around it. Now,
Mhm.
since COVID, things have gone up. Excuse me, let me,
Mhm.
this light keeps going off, excuse me.
But I think you're good at. I
Okay,
don't.
I'm good like that.
Yes.
Okay, so if it goes, I'll just stay like that. So,
Yeah.
since COVID, you know, cost of materials have gone up, cost of labor, things like that. So, we have seen our costs go up as well. But we have
Mhm.
always trying to make sure that we manage cost in a way that we can spread as much dollars as possible to make sure it hits as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So I hope I answered that question in a way that
Definitely.
is
Yeah.
is 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 convincing, in a way
Mhm.
that it translates, the heart of a leader who is sold out when it comes to
Mhm.
community work, and a heart of somebody who engages others to do work that will transform our communities.
But definitely you answered the question, and you be the talks on my mind. You just push my mind for some place. Me and you growing up for Kumba town, there were times when you should don't foresee your corner, and then you do wish. You do wish, in as much as that will be young, will probably wish may God may angel fall, and those crazy kind of wish them.
Hmm.
And then I don't big now realize say all that angel will be the pray for now persons like you and me.
Amen.
Now, persons like me, you and me, if you go out there and go start do that work way, it will make some picking like that picking way. If you drink that water, feel like, whoa, now the angel, this is what I be the wish for.
Amen.
So I think say people for our community really get for looking to which way you dey talk, which way people like you they do. And man, these images are something else.
Bro,
I
for
said,
that same thing when you're talking, right?
yeah.
I don't always talk, say, I get plenty of people, they always say, Rich, God go bless you. As I know.
Mhm.
You know. But which will fail for realize and say, God they use na man for bless people then,
Definitely.
right? So
Definitely.
when you see the need and you see someone doing it,
Mm-hmm.
not just wait to mean that God, because God they talk for you at that very moment and say, do
More.
something,
That, yep.
right? Do something, because now you are that angel that person has been praying for,
Painful.
right? In my space, for me, I get plans for the shout out to MCJT when I connect me and you, right?
Yeah.
Um, Now one of my strong put in that way, through ye, God don't bless we, right?
Yeah.
Don't make this connection. It is something as simple as that,
Yeah.
right? When you say, I'm not just going to wait. May I arrive for some place, so I don't arrive. Then I get money, plenty. I go start do the kind of thing. Then, bro,
Mhm.
the reality is, if you always wait, you will never get there.
Very true.
You wait, you never. But and you see the opportunity to make a difference. When you see the opportunity to give back, when you see the opportunity to transform,
Mm-hmm.
take that step and make
Mm-hmm.
the investment. When I dey pray now for people like you, others who are
Mm-hmm.
watching. Say,
Mm-hmm.
I know say God go use now for can bless this
Yep.
organization.
Yep.
God go use now you for come write check, come this
Mm-hmm.
event, make a donation, so
Mm-hmm.
that way we can get the resources, get the the tools that we need
Yeah.
to bring about impact.
It will definitely happen, bro. It will definitely happen. And for anyone already watch now, any person we will watch later, please go ahead and do what you can do for push this project. I don't hardly hear any person talk about projects, especially projects where they happen back home, and then talk about transparency. Talk about on our website this. If you wanted to know about this, give us a call, give us. I feel that is that alone that's one thing way any person get for feel like, you know what, I want to be part of this project. Go ahead and share the videos, guys. I feel say all man to ask the question you want ask him. My shout out to my sister Rachel Triple, another wonderful
Yes,
woman.
that woman fit give you history for Generosity Global.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so now our grand said that didn't aside too,
Wow. Yeah.
right? You ask
Wow.
anything, will give you history. Now, one of my
Wow.
strongest advocates in that way from day one, even when we were nothing, she stood there and she was there. Nakumba woman,
Yeah.
Nakumba. So she knows from day one. She knows the trajectory of Generosity
Hmm.
Global. That's one person that you can sit down and she'll have stories. So big sis, as always, I say thank you because you have been nothing more, nothing more than a big sister to me that has loved me unconditionally, supported me unconditionally. I love you. Thank you.
Wow. We'll watch the video and then we'll continue the segment. Wow. Oh god.
Yeah, before I forget, bro, I want to give shout out to our title sponsor. You see that end for that video, say Primus Health.
Yes.
Again, another God story that
Wow.
that company, now our biggest and only major sponsor of the year.
Wow.
They fund us for this event, $30,000 for make sure that the event happen. So when we talk about God in action, God in motion,
Wow.
people see your heart, people see where you are, people hear your cry, and they
Yeah.
say, no, we want to help, we want to step in. I lie to you not. If they did not step in, I'm very sure that 10-year anniversary will not happen this year. So
Wow.
I'm a man who is, I'm very humbled when it comes to people who see the work that we do and meet us where we are and say yes, how we can support. You know, there are many people like that who can easily write that check.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and a matter of how much. I
Hmm.
believe in big giving. I believe in people who can give and give without having to say, look at how much I give. No, we
Yeah.
don't necessarily need that because it doesn't solve anything. What
Very
is
true.
important is when you give, we want you to take on that task and that responsibility to join us in the field so you
Hmm.
can see where your giving goes to. You can see the impact that you have helped create it, because the reality is Generosity Global is just a facilitator, right?
Hmm.
We are just an organization. Yes, we have leadership and we have people in place, but the reality is our donors, our stakeholders, the people who are investing, they are the ones who are actually making this thing happen.
Yep.
It's making it possible, right? So
Yep.
my thing is, why should we hide what we are doing from you? This is your work.
Yeah.
This is your investment. So we want as many people to come with us to the field, to visit the centers, to see it firsthand how their investments is changing lives.
Hmm.
Bro. So I just want to take that moment to shout out, Primus Health,
Hmm.
one of our sponsors, Stan Lion Clothing.
Hmm.
I'm sure you know that, brother.
Very sure.
So that's one of our biggest sponsors and partners for years and years to come. Fashion show every year at Mission Board, but on top of that, a brother who has a heart of gold,
Yep.
who is always about community and investing in it. So I want to make sure that those people are recognized for their generosity.
We'll watch the video one last time and then we'll sign out.
Okay.
Wow.
Bro,
Boss.
I'll be committing a sin just like you almost did if I did not give a shout out to my wife, right? That every I may be sleeping somewhere other than my bed, no, but the truth is, you know people say behind every, I say beside
Mm-hmm.
every leader, great leader is another great leader. And
Mm-hmm.
this woman, Mrs. Erica Akwo, has been by my side, and we've been building this thing hand in hand together. And the vision behind Generosity Women, um, that's all her. She is a visionary, a leader who deeply cares for women. And you know everything
Mm-hmm.
we do together in terms of uplifting people in the right way. And people who have been to the mission ball events, they will tell you that she's a showstopper. She's a better speaker than me. She gets everybody going. She engages everybody. People, you ask her what's your favorite part of mission, but they'll say Erica's speeches. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you a backdrop as to the caliber of woman that she is. And hopefully I have not committed any sins.
Me and you. Okay, Baba, after watching the video, the last video we played, I want you to talk to your people, tell them a reason, give them a reason why they should show up for the event, make their donations and have fun.
What can I say? Let's not even focus on an event. Let's not
Mm-hmm.
even focus on a gathering that people are coming to have a good time, looking good,
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to childhood for most of
Mm-hmm.
us. Let's go back to the early days of growing up, some
Mm-hmm.
village somewhere in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that time when there was no water in the house. Think about that time where you had to walk, you know, with a heavy bucket on your head. Think about that
Wow.
time that, you know, you are walking back and that water is just falling. By the time you get back home, the water is finished.
You're almost
Think about the
finished.
time
Mm-hmm.
when you go to the stream, sometimes you're even forced to drink that water. That's the same water that people are defecating in.
Mm.
Think about sometimes some of us, we were sick, we could not go to school because of some waterborne illness. Mm. Think about that woman in the village who has to use dirty leaves or dirty cloth to put, between her legs to stop blood from flowing down. Think about the infection that she has to attract. Think about the lives that are being impacted. Now think about a cup of water on a hot sunny day when you're very thirsty. What that does to you. Now let me take you to Maroa, where the average temperature there, we use degrees over here, 90, Celsius over here. I think we
Mm-hmm.
are Celsius over here,
Mm-hmm.
90 degrees in Cameroon. Just imagine very, very hot. And there's no water in sight. Think about what used to be a riverbed
Mm-hmm.
because of drought in the far north. Is now plain field of just sand because the
Son.
water has dried out. Then look into that sand bed and see a group of people digging into that sand just to get to any
Hoping.
little bit of water. This is real, my brother. This is real, my people. This is the reality of the field. So when you invest into Generosity Global, when you invest into Mission Ball, these are the people that you are invested in. These are the lives that we are working. We're not trying, we are doing it. We
Mm-hmm.
are working on transforming. When you invest, know that every ticket goes to reach about 10 people that their lives will be transformed forever. And simply because you said yes, simply because you said, yes, I'm going to align with generosity. Yes, I'm going to become part of the generosity global village. Yes, I'm going to give clean water today. That is what this is all about. It's never about me. It's never about the organization. The organization is just a name. No, it's about the people that God has placed on the turf of our existence to say, if this person crosses your path and if you're in the position,
Mhm.
let us do our very best to help these people. So, my brothers and my sisters, this is Generosity Global. Generosity Global, generosity changes everything. But the generosity starts from you, from me, from everyone. When we are generous, things can change.
Man, boss. I'm glad we had this session. I think I'm blessed. I think I am really, really happy. I'll go ahead and continue to share the message. I'll go ahead and continue to talk to our people about this. I'll definitely make my own donations. I'd even plan for Cam Maryland, man. I feel like we need to sit and talk about other.
VIP seats for you if you come, bro. If not for event or another time, don't worry. I'm
Yeah,
always I'm always available.
yeah, definitely want to show up so we can sit and talk about the wonderful things you're doing. And to add to that, the fact say you be Akwo, the fact say you be Kumba, the fact say you
Cape
be
Town.
Anglophone, the fact say you be Cameroonian, you be African.
Yes, bro.
It just melts my heart. Continue to do what you do. Definitely God will always send people around you for continue make that magic moves in.
Confirm, confirm.
I don't know if any question or any topic the way you the things will address and whenever bring her up.
No, bro, don't talk about most, the charitable side, which,
Mm-hmm,
for me, that my focus, that this
mm-hmm,
particular, venture, right?
mm-hmm.
I just believe that we all have a stake in the building of Cameroon. I,
Yeah,
for one, I'm a pro Cam, like as much as the country is what it is,
yeah.
but I believe I see the good and I see, the change that is coming. I believe that the Cameroon that we know today will
Mm-hmm,
change. The Cameroon that we know today will become better. Because, bro, and that's when I talk about my real estate side where I invest in real estate and all those things and
mm-hmm.
doing development projects, you know, bro, sometimes we come out here, we say one go to Zanzibar, one go to Dubai for go enjoy, one go
Yeah.
this other side, and one go Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is Cameroon has that same footprint. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of us really taking time, a long-term view to
Yeah.
say we can build all these things because we get coastline them that
Very
are
true.
in need of development.
Yeah.
We'll get communities and way, population growth is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Douala don't flop.
Yeah.
Douala is overpopulated. Yes, that's
Very
where
true.
everything happens. But the reality is when you start moving things on Douala, those areas too will come. So I believe, and maybe not because I don't stay for this side and all that's in them. I know over there for Cameroon every day where they experience the hustle and bustle for most. But the
Yeah.
reality is, even in my time in Cameroon, I see people who have never left Cameroon, but they are making it.
Very true.
They have not left Cameroon, but they are making it big. So I
Very true.
ask myself, it's like, is it a function of where you are or the mindset?
Yeah.
So I believe that we have an opportunity, all of us,
Yeah.
Cameroonians, Africans, to invest back to make Cameroon great. You know, do your own small thing. We all
Mm-hmm.
come together. Again, we collaborate, we work,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
win together, we rise together, we
Yeah.
impact together. So we make the money, we give money away, we do good, we impact, we influence.
One of the things that I always tell people and I say, whatever resources will be things that they ever can take and for day or that they take and for day, will get the potential for redirect that resources back to motherland. Now for we for just think out of the box and it will happen.
Absolutely.
Baba, thank you very, very
No,
much for every person we still watch. We'll get back with what on a cash, what on a Vim, or what on a paper. Just do what you can do to support and push this project. For those who don't know me, I don't bring people on here because I feel like I want to bring people on here. By the way, no man never ever pay me. I have conversations with people. I do my investigations in until the project really touch my heart, until I really feel like okay, this is now something the way I feel put my face for front. You understand? Then I'll go ahead and invite these people and have these conversations with them. Now the reason why they even tell and I say even me, I go make my own small donations Go ahead and make your own small donations. Like my brother talk, small, small. You do your own for here, you give your own for there, the man give own for there. Uh by the way, we even give for the tango, so already get paid we na be the sacrificial lamb. Me say what own I for give money.
Now only for give money.
Me na go the tonton for north or for side. All that
Inside Boko Haram territory, bro.
yeah.
In those days.
Me na go take other risks them, and then now we dey for hear the smile say, oh, now because of we that water dey for the. So let's
Yes.
do this.
Yes.
Show up for the event. It's going to be fun. Definitely, I'll be for Maryland. So any man where you what I want to donate now or you want to donate another time, but just do something. I will be there for some other event the other day where people they not only they get subscription. It's not
Hmm.
just about a one-time donation.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
persons they don't volunteer. Say, you know what? I don't want to do on one time. Instead for me for giving now $100 now or $200 now, I would give now $100 every month or $70 every month for the next 5 years, the next 10 years. You understand? That is
Bro,
how.
you don't talk. I'm sorry for cut you. Now,
Mhm.
actually, that is a more sustainable way of giving. When we talk
Yeah.
about sustainability, would even challenge what donors and now say, oh no, because sometimes that big money no over there for all man, right?
Yes.
But if you make commitment, say, okay, I feel do 25, bro. If you do $25 a month, right?
Month.
If you get, let's just say 100 people,
Hmm.
born at 2.5 that every month.
Every month.
2.5 is enough to take care of one of our centers every month,
Yep. Yep.
right? But guess what? One person just did $25 and
Yep.
it's changing lives. So
Yep.
thank you for saying that.
Wow. Baba, thank you very much, man. I'll kick you out now, but thank you very, very much. The part for real estate, we'll find time. We'll get a beautiful conversation about it.
Yes,
I don't know if you
definitely.
get any last thing you want to talk for your people.
No, like Grant said, don't just post, buy tickets.
Yeah.
That's it. We they here, we know they enough for shine for talk, right? We need the support. Buy tickets. Go to the website for the events. You can go to generosityglobal.org or you
Mm-hmm.
can go to missionball2023.com. Buy the
Mm-hmm.
tickets there. Send in donations.
Mm-hmm.
Tell somebody if you have friends who are in Maryland, if you cannot come by yourself, if you are somewhere around but you
Mm-hmm.
have friends who are in Maryland, who are in DC, who are in Delaware, tell them about Mission Ball. Share the videos,
Mm-hmm.
share the pictures, share anything you can share. Tell them that they need to be here because by their sheer presence, that just means that at least 10 people are going to get access to clean water.
Just imagine, say, we 15 would watch the video right now. Will convince 20 people each
Mm,
to attend that event. That is what success is. That is what building our community is. That is what coming together as a people and work towards something beautiful is. So more no relent, more no sleep, more just do it if we do for make this event a big, big, big success. Baba, thank you
thank
very
you, bro.
much. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
beg
Thank you. God bless you.
me, madam, even if you know be correct that thing fine, me, madam, no put you for us.
No, likewise, oh, likewise. I pray for your sake. Seriously. We're there together, bro.
Yeah, enjoy your day,
Thank
bro.
you. Thank you.
Well, guys, I think this was a good one. This was a beautiful one. Go ahead and do what you have to do, man. Like I always tell people, we'll not get no person, we'll not get mommy, we'll not get papa. Now me and you, if we do it together for do for make sure say our community looks better. So many people want to visit our community, so many friends and families and strangers and these people want to visit our community, but then we no one leave and make they go look at that can as we see what they happen. More do the minimum we can to make sure when they get there they can at least afford, they fit get some certain things, and if you get lights, they fit get water, they fit get this, they fit get that. And we are lucky to have people who have people who don't come up say, hey, you know what, I want to run with this project. All we have to do is dip our hands in our pockets and make donations, make donations, and definitely we are heading somewhere. I'm sure it was a beautiful show for me. It was a very, very beautiful segment. Not today is sweet like when my brother like he talk, he articulate. I don't know if did he stutter? No, you see, say he get every information about the project to a fingertip, and that is how you know someone is genuine. That's how you know they are sincere. That is how you know they are actually doing something they are passionate about. So why me and you no go support them? Why me and you no want invest in such project? Why me and you no go work with them? I'll talk him again. Me and you no get no person for do and for we. Not only me and you, we do one for our community. That is more to it that we get over today. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for everyone we don't watch. For those who don't watch later, don't forget to share the video. Please remember to make your donations. Please remember to send someone to attend. If you know they for Maryland area, you know they for DMV area. But if you there for DMV area and you intend for see Toridey, I'll be for day. Thank you very much. That is more to it that we get over today.